So I'm going to start this video off by warning people that they keep coming up with suggestions on what videos I should do because they're trying to match what their technology is, I guess, saying with what they think I'll say. So I want to warn you guys about that was the reason. I'm like, I thought it was just because of my businesses and my apartment. Now I see they come up with a lot of other ways to make money. They said they were going to take my pictures and use them in different countries and different things. And someone on Twitter said they have these like sex video things where they use like humans, or I guess actual things based on humans. So there are so many ways people make money on our identities, our likeness. And so that's part of what I wanted to warn you folks about. I think that's how they got some information, because they said they even said it out loud, that they called people and asked for a story about me, good and bad. So I just want to give you guys that warning. So I'm going to start with that. The other thing is, I feel like I'm going to talk about feelings, because when they're making suggestions, it's based on their computer system, but on their idea of what they think, as opposed to what a real human being thinks. I think these people have some sort of true problem that they don't address. They said they don't feel empathy for me, but they don't address feelings. So the things that they put out aren't based on how a human, a real person would feel. So I'm going to put this, how a real person feels, will be the title of this video, which is different from how we are. So when they're saying that humans will be replaced, we can't be replaced. So they have this whole thing about replacing everything. Everything for them is always replacing. Some things can't be replaced. And that's what feelings are. Feelings, when you feel something, like, and I'm going like this, when you feel something, not pain, but that inner thing, not a thought, I'm not talking about like gut feelings and things like that. No, I'm talking about feelings, your emotions, how something touches you. You can't replace that. So when I heard the lies, how I felt in that moment was such sadness that these people thought this about me. They didn't. And they didn't care. They said they wanted to do this to get my memory, test my memory, which goes back to the letter I got. But the feeling you get in your body, I don't know, for me, it was like in my heart. The pain in my heart when they were spreading all these lies about me, and I'm like, I have proof, I can laugh about it now, but it's like, I have proof. That's a lie. That's a lie. It's like, I've got proof. And then when I realized that they knew it was lies, the feeling changed. It was anger. So when I was in my apartment, I'm so angry. I went into we have a very long hallway. I'm trying to show you guys on camera, long hallway. And I said out loud, these people are liars. This is a lie. It's not true. They accused me of drunk driving. I was never drunk driving. They said I had a car accident. Never had a car accident. They said I was a reckless driver. I've had my car for such a short amount of time. I didn't have time to any of these things. So they lied, and they said, what was the other lie about me? Oh, that I was a child prostitute, and that I was a child prostitute. I had sex with some guy in high school. I was a drug dealer. So when this was first said, I was so upset. So somehow people, they are talking, and they wondered what made me so upset. Those things made me upset. Those things. And those are feelings. So when they're coming up with these ideas, you're going to show them genes, and that I did already. They thought I was going to do like 1 million videos on genes. Maybe at some point. But they keep coming up with new genes. So meaning the way this technology seems to work is it takes what already happened and come up with new scenarios. And that's something I want you guys to know. So they can't come up with original ideas. They come up based on ideas that already happened. So that's why it was so important for them to try to, quote unquote, recreate what happened so that technology can come up with a repeat of what happened. Does that make sense? Somebody out there, you guys probably get what I'm saying. So they can't come up with an original idea. And original ideas are based on feelings. And that's why I'm saying this technology won't win. It won't replace humans. What we do and what we say and what we're feeling is more powerful than what a computer can generate. My feelings caused me to create this new Cup of Jara Productions. This is nothing like the old Cup of Jara Productions. My feelings, I feel it. So I did a video about how we come up with things, fight or flight. This is fight or flight, obviously. I'm showing you. I am living the video. They would say recreate. No, I'm living the video. The video talked about fight or flight. The emotions that cause us to produce serotonin in our brains. And not just serotonin, but different chemicals that cause us to be able to look at a situation and decide whether we're going to stay and fight or we'll flee. And that's part of what I was telling you folks. These people don't realize that's what I'm doing in these videos. I'm telling you guys, I told you I'll be truthful with you. I'm telling you the instances when I stayed and fought versus flight. And I don't think my fight or flight is based in our gut. I think it's based in the brain. Our brains are designed to assess whether we should fight or flight. They produce certain chemicals that cause us to be able to decide in that fast, that quickly. Do we stay and fight or do we flee? That's what our bodies do. It's not just a feeling. It's a mental process also. So how that ties into your feelings is, if I feel sad, what do? How do I deal with that feeling, that emotion? If I'm angry, what do? How do I deal with that feeling or emotion? If there's a conflict, what do? How do I deal with that feeling or emotions? AI can't do that. That's why there's suggestions and they're banging now. They wanted to use me for this technology. And it seems that some of the people didn't want me to be the one. They said, well, in high school, you weren't that. I can't say it with a straight face. I told you guys, I started high school in 1987. I graduated in 1991. In high school, you weren't popular enough to be used for AI. I don't think I was either, which goes to show they couldn't have been doing this all along. Like, I'm trying to break the spell they have over the people who insist they were doing this all along. They were not. I'm going to pause this for a moment. So it doesn't make sense that somebody who wouldn't have been popular, wasn't causing drama, would suddenly become someone these people said this was always happening. They wouldn't have to gather information. So they said, we're still talking. We're the ones who just said serotonin. Well, you watch my video, and that's my point. Like, some of this has to do with them wanting to take credit for my work, but their new thing is wanting to create this AI technology on someone who they decided to hit in the head, the temples, top of the head, behind the ears, and the back of the neck, and then throughout the body. But why the head is important is what I just told you about fight or flight. Our brains have to produce certain chemicals. We also have to be able to hear. Hearing is important. See. Our mouths are important. It's our survival. You know, we must eat. Feel. And then flight involves movement. So I think they just said something. Now they lowered it because they don't want you guys to hear. So many people have already heard them in the videos that now it's like I think they listen for them. They said, well, what if you can't hear? Again, it's not based on if I have for 40-something years been able to do certain things. The loss of that thing or a change of that thing would change my ability to fight or flight. So not only would my brain change, but my hearing, my vision, my sense of smell, that's the other thing. They said, oh, your nose got enlarged. Yeah, it's caused part of the swelling. My ability to eat, when my jaw was swollen, my jaw was so swollen at one point, I could barely open my mouth. My teeth, that's part of your survival, being able to eat. Your ability to feel if you can't hold things. So I'm not going to address all the whatabouts, what about people who can't hear? What about people who can't eat? I'm not going to go into their whataboutisms. And I'm going to put that in the title also. So that's my point. If I interact with these types of people, I would always be in a constant state of this. Constantly either fighting or fleeing. That's what they wanted. What they got, unfortunately, was physical ailments. The pain here, where you can actually see where they hit me with something. Change in my hearing. Change in my face. The swelling. There was a swelling over my eyes. They got the opposite of what they wanted, because what they wanted was to make this based on a 49-year-old me being unpopular in high school. It has nothing to do with high school. It has to do with these people wanting something. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support.